Hi everyone, so I've got another video for you today. This one is a gentle yoga class. All you're going to need is a mat, and you might want to put it up against the wall because we're going to do some exercises with our legs up the wall. So first off, we're going to start off with a little bit of relaxation just to get you into your slow breathing and releasing tension in the body. So take a position on the ground. Find a position that's comfortable for you. Now, for a lot of people, that is lying on your back with your legs apart, your feet dropping out to the side, your arms away from your body and with your palms turning up, which helps to open out the shoulders. Now, if you're finding in that position that you're getting a little bit of discomfort in your lower back, you might want to grab yourself a cushion or a pillow and just place it underneath your knees. That just tilts your pelvis up, takes that pressure off the lower back. So if you need to do that, just pause the video, grab yourself a cushion, and then, like I said, find that comfortable position on the ground, close your eyes over, and let's start by bringing our attention to our breathing. So initially, feeling the flow of air moving in and out through your nostrils. And then noticing the rise and fall of your chest with each breath. So make your breath a little deeper. As you inhale, try to draw as much air as you can into your lungs. Feel the breath expanding from the top of your chest all the way down to the bottom of your rib cage. As you take those deeper breaths, you feel your chest, your rib cage, and your belly rising up to the ceiling as you inhale. And as you exhale, allow your body to relax and to sink into your mat. Relax your forehead. Relax your brow. Relax your eyes. And relax the little muscles behind your eyes. Relax your cheeks. Relax your mouth. And relax your jaw. Right now, there is nowhere that you need to be, and there is nothing that you need to be doing other than just lying there on the floor and breathing. So coming back to those deep inhalations and full exhalations. As you exhale, feel the tension coming away from your body. Feel the release. Let your body relax and let your mind empty. So if any thoughts come into your mind at this time, just let them go with your exhalation. Your exhalation is that moment to let go and to release. So I want you to remember that deep breathing as we move into our practice today. I want you to take 5 more breaths there, deep, full breaths. Each inhale, expanding your chest, your rib cage. Each exhale, giving you that deep sense of release. And once you've taken those 5 breaths, start to gently move your fingers and your toes, bringing your attention back into your body. And when you're ready, reach your arms up over your head and stretch your body out nice and long. Point your toes, stretch your legs, and then hug your knees into your chest and rock very gently on your lower back, up and down, side to side, and then roll over onto your right hand side. Just pause there for a couple of breaths. And then when you're ready, you're going to come up to a stand. We're going to move up to the front of our mats, and we'll start our practice with some sun salutations to warm up the body. What we're going to do is do 2 rounds of sun salutations, so left side, right side, at a reasonable pace. We're not going to move too quickly. And then we'll do 2 rounds at a slightly slower pace, and we'll have a bit more of a stretch in some of those positions. Now I do make some modifications to the sun salutations just to protect shoulders for some of my clients there and make this session doable for everyone. Okay, now if you get lost, don't forget you can pause the video, you can rewind, and so that you can keep up. So let's come up to the front of the mat. We're going to breathe in and out and bring the hands together. We'll take another inhale, reach the arms up, stretch through the spine, leaning back gently. Then we're going to fold forwards, bring the hands to the floor, bending your knees, and take a big step back with your left foot. Take the knee down, point the toe, and then reach your arms up and sink your pelvis forwards. Bring your hands back to the mat. We're going to take our right leg back to come into an all-fours position here. We're going to tuck our toes under and we'll come up into our first downward dog. So pressing into your hands, lifting your hips and pushing your heels down. You can pedal your feet to push the heels a little bit closer to the ground. And then we're going to bring our knees back to the mat. We're going to bring our left foot up to the front. We're going to reach our arms up, sink the pelvis forwards, and then bring the hands back to the mat. Now we're going to step our right foot up to the front. We're going to pause here with straight legs, getting a nice big stretch through the back of the legs. And then I want you to roll your body up. So drawing yourself up from the back of the legs, letting the upper body hang forwards as you come up 1 vertebra at a time. Once you get to the shoulders, we're going to reach the arms up, stretch out through the spine, leaning back gently, and then return the hands in front of the chest. Let's go again. Big inhale. Reaching up, stretching through the spine, leaning back gently, and then folding forwards, bending the knees, bringing the hands to the floor. Let's take a big step back with our right foot. Take the knee down, point the toe, reach the arms up, sink the pelvis forwards, and then bring the hands back to the mat. Let's take that left foot back so that we're on all fours. Tuck the toes under. Let's come up into downward dog once again. So pressing into your hands, lifting your hips and pushing those heels down. And then start to pedal the feet once again. Bending one knee whilst you straighten the other. Alternating legs. Trying to get those heels nice and close to the ground whilst you maintain pressure through the hands. Then we'll bring our knees back to the floor. We'll bring our right foot back up to the front of the mat. We're going to reach our arms up, sink the pelvis forwards. Bring the hands back to the mat once again. We're going to step the left foot up to the front. Pausing again with those straight legs, upper body hanging forwards. And then we draw ourselves up once again.
So make sure your head and your arms are hanging forwards as you roll yourself up, stacking the spine one vertebra on top of the next. When you get to the shoulders, we reach the arms up, leaning back gently, stretching through the spine, and then returning the hands in front of the chest. So we'll go a little bit slower this time, take a bit of time for more of a stretch in some of those poses. So once again, reaching up, stretching through the spine, leaning back gently, and then we'll fold forwards. Now this time we're going to plant our feet down into the ground, keep a bit of a bend in the knees, take hold of the elbows, make sure your head is hanging, and we're just going to hang here. So really want you to feel the weight of your arms, giving you a better stretch through the back of the legs. Move your head very gently to make sure you're not holding your head up. The crown of your head should be facing the ground. And then use that breathing that we practiced at the very beginning. Deeper breaths. And with each exhalation, really try and focus on those parts of your body that are feeling the tension here. And try to let them release as you exhale. Now we'll place our hands down on the ground and we'll take a big step back with our left foot. Take the knee down, point the toe, reach the arms up, sink the pelvis forwards. And then we're going to bring our hands back to the mat and we're going to pause here. So in this position, we're trying to push this right knee forwards. We're sinking our right butt cheek towards the back of our right heel. Try to keep a straight spine as much as you can here. And then breathe into your stretch. So wherever you're feeling the strain here, take some deep breaths. Breathe into that tightness. Try to let it release and imagine your body softening. Okay, let's take that right foot back. Coming into our all fours position, we're going to go up into downward dog again. So tuck your toes under, press into your hands, lift the hips and push those heels down. Now we're going to pedal the feet, but I'm going to use a slightly slower tempo than the one I was using before, so that I'm spending a little bit more time really pressing those heels down on each side. And just a tip for you here, if you find your hands slipping on the mat, just take hold, grab hold of the edges of the mat, and that can give you a little bit more purchase to be able to press your heels down. And then let's bring our knees back down to the mat. Let's bring the left foot back up to the front. We're going to reach our hands up, sink the pelvis forwards once again, and then return the hands to the mat and pause here. So this time it's our left knee that's pushing forwards. We're sinking the left butt cheek towards the back of the left heel, and we are using our breathing. So breathing into what feels tight here, breathing into any resistance, trying to let that tightness soften as we exhale. Now we're going to step the right foot up to the front and we'll pause with those straight legs once again. Upper body hanging forwards. Let your head hang forwards. Push your knees away from your face so you've got that really straight leg here. And then we'll start to roll up. So pushing into the feet, drawing yourself up from the back of the legs, upper body hanging forwards, rolling up, stacking the spine. Once you get to the shoulders, we reach the arms up, lengthening through the spine, leaning back gently, and then returning the hands in front of the chest. Let's go one more time through that. So reaching the arms up, leaning back gently, and then folding forwards, bending the knees. Once again, we're going to take hold of the elbows. Let the head hang. So move your head very gently and use the weight of your arms to give you that bigger stretch over your shoulders, your back, over the hips, and down the back of the legs. Let's place our hands down on the ground. Take a big step back with the right foot. Bring the knee down, point the toe, reach the arms up, sink the pelvis forwards, and then bring the hands back to the mat. Let's pause here. So the left knee is pushing forwards. We're sinking the left butt cheek towards the back of the left heel. Use your breathing once again. So breathe into those tight places. Let your body soften and relax. And we'll take that left foot back, coming into all fours, getting ready for our last downward dog here. So tucking the toes under, lifting the hips, pushing into the hands, pushing the heels down, and then using that pedaling motion with the feet. Pushing one heel down and then the other, making sure you keep the pressure through the hands, keep lifting the hips and pushing those heels down. We'll bring the knees back down to the mat and we'll bring the right foot up to the front. Let's reach the arms up and sink the pelvis forwards. And then bring the hands back to the mat for the last time here. So right knee is pushing forwards, sinking the right butt cheek towards the back of the right heel. Breathe into your body. Breathe into the stretch here. And of course, each time you're doing these deep exhalations, you're releasing thoughts, releasing worries, releasing tension from your mind, as well as from your body. So let's step that left foot up to the front. We'll hang down with the straight legs once again here. Last time. Pushing the knees away from the face, getting that big stretch into the back of the legs. And then rolling up, nice and slow, drawing yourself up from the back of the legs, stacking the spine. Once you get to the shoulders, let's get that last reach up. Stretching through the spine, leaning back gently, and then returning the hands in front of the chest. Now at this point, we're going to come back down onto the ground into our relaxation pose. So as I described at the beginning, lying on your back with your legs apart, your feet dropping out to the side, arms away from your body with your palms facing up and closing your eyes. So we're just going to take a few breaths here.
Draw the breath deeply down into your body. You might notice the effect of the stretch that we've already had. Take a couple more breaths there. Okay, so I'm going to get you to lift your right leg. Bring your hands around your right shin and draw that knee towards your chest. Try to keep the left leg straight. Just pull that right knee towards your chest. We're just going to hold here for a few seconds. And release and swap legs. So bring the left leg in, put the hands on the front of the shin, draw that left knee towards your chest. And release. Now you're going to take your arms out to the side, bend your knees, place your feet together on your mat, and we're just going to do a gentle back twist. So you're just going to move your knees side to side, very gently at first. Now if this is feeling nice and easy, go for a slightly deeper twist. We'll do one more on each side. Trying to get the knees all the way down to the ground. And then when you come back up to the center, we're going to separate the feet and get them onto the edges of the mat. So you should be able to feel the edges of your mat under your feet. I'm going to get you to lift your right leg and put your right foot on the outside of your left knee and then twist your legs down to the left. Now try to keep your right shoulder back on the ground as much as you can and turn your head to the right. So your legs are to the left, your head is looking to the right. If you want a little bit more twist, use your left hand on the top of your right thigh just to create a little bit of downward pressure, and that can give you a little bit more twist into the back, stretching into the right butt cheek as well. Now this is a good place to use your breathing once again. So each time you exhale, just try and breathe into what feels tight. Try to let it soften and relax. You're welcome to close your eyes here. Closing the eyes in these positions really helps to keep your attention focused inward, focused on what you can feel. A bit less distracted by what's going on around you. So we're going to release that side, gently twist back up to the center. Now, as you uncross your legs, re-find the edges of the mat with both feet. Then we'll lift the left leg, tuck it up to the outside of the right knee. We're going to twist the legs down to the right. And then we're going to look to the left. Again, you're welcome to close your eyes here. Focus on your breathing. Focus on what you can feel. If you want a little bit more stretch, put your right hand on the top of your left thigh and create a little bit of downward pressure there. Breathe into the stretch. Try to let your body soften. Whatever is feeling tight here, try and let it relax, let it lengthen. Okay, we're going to come back up to the center here and we're going to finish off these floor positions with a happy baby. So lift your feet off the ground, Reach your arms up in between your legs. Take hold of the soles of your feet. Separate your legs and pull the knees down. Very graceful position, of course, but the name Happy Baby says it all. So you're pulling your feet down and you're also trying to keep the lower part of your back on the ground as much as you can here. We're going to take 5 more breaths in your own time. And of course, each one of those breaths, you're trying to soften and release into your body. So once you've taken your 5 breaths, we're going to release those feet. We're going to roll over onto our right hand side and then roll ourselves up from there. And we're going to come into a seated position on the mat. Now I want your legs straight out to the front to start with. Just pull the flesh out from underneath you. Delightful description, but you know what it means. And we're just going to do a forward bend here. Now some of you might like to have a strap or a belt for this one. I'm going to do it without to show you that you can. We're going to take a nice big inhale and reach up. As we exhale, we're going to come forwards over the legs. Now, whatever you can reach here, your arms might be here, 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 whatever you can reach, just take hold. If you've got a strap, you can put a strap around your feet and hold the strap. We're just going to hold on to what we can reach, and we're going to take some nice deep breaths. So breathe into what you can feel here. Breathe into that stretch. Try to get your nose a little bit closer to your knees. Okay, we're going to release that one, sitting back up, and then we're going to tuck our right leg out to the side. So bring the foot in beside the thigh, left leg still sitting out to the front there. We're going to do a half straddle. So your left hand is going to reach towards your left foot, and you're going to reach your right hand over the top. We're going to come back to the center, and we're going to repeat that 2 more times. So big stretch, and up. And as we do this, I want you to think about pulling that right knee down. So pull it down to the ground. Reach and stretch. And back to the center. We're going to swap legs. So your right leg is out to the side, left leg is tucked in. We're going to reach and stretch the arm over, and you're pulling your left knee down to the ground at the same time. Reach and stretch. And release. We'll do that 2 more times. Reach and stretch. Back to the center 1 more time. Reach and stretch. And release. Now the next section we're going to do up against the wall. So I want you to try and get as close as you can to the wall. So what I would suggest is that you wriggle your bottom as close as possible on the edge of the mat, and then lie down and roll your legs up. So you're nice and close with your bottom. Bring your arms out to the side. First one we're going to do is just let the legs drop out to the side as wide as they can go. You're going to close your eyes over and just take some deep breaths here. So feeling the stretch down through the inner thighs. And nice deep breaths. You are welcome to close your eyes over again. As I said, it really helps to keep your attention focused inwards when you're not distracted by what you can see. We're going to get 2 more breaths here in your own time. And then we're going to bring the feet together. So bring the soles of the feet together and let your knees come out to the side. Try to keep the feet as close to your bottom as is comfortable. And then you can create a little bit of pressure here as well. Try to keep your hips down on the ground. So your back might want to roll up. Try to roll your pelvis back down, but you can create that little bit of pressure as well. And again, we're going to take some nice deep breaths here. Okay, now I want you to take your left leg straight up and then lift your right foot off the wall. Put your right hand on the edge of the right knee. Take hold of the right foot with your left hand and push that right knee in towards you. Pull the right foot down as well. You should be getting a good stretch in the outside of that right glute. Two more breaths there. And we're going to swap legs. So release that right leg, place that on the wall, take the left leg off the wall, left hand on the outside of the left knee, right foot holding the left foot, sorry. Push the left knee in and pull the left foot around. Two more breaths there. And then we're going to release that left foot. I'm going to go into a reclined yogi squat. So placing your feet down on the wall, nice and wide. Try to keep the shins parallel to the floor. And you can reach your arms around your legs. Just tuck them on the inside of your knees. That creates a little bit of extra pressure. The big stretch for the inner thighs again. Again, closing the eyes, taking those deep breaths, breathing into what feels tight here, and letting your body soften. Let's get 3 more breaths here. And then we're going to release, and I want you to wriggle back from the wall a little bit. Keep your left foot on the wall with your knee at about a right angle. Put your right foot on the left knee and get your right elbow into your right forearm into your right knee. Create a little bit of downward pressure there. You might want to hold your ankle with your hand here and you should again get a nice stretch into your right glute here. Close your eyes, breathe into the stretch, let your body soften. Let's get 3 more breaths here. And we're going to release that right foot, place it on the wall. Bring the left foot up onto the right knee. Hold the ankle with the right hand. Place your left forearm against the inside of that left knee. Create a little bit of pressure away. And you've got that stretch into your left glute this time. Again, close your eyes over. Breathe into the stretch. Try to let your body soften and relax. Now for this stretch, if it's too intense, move further away from the wall. If it's too easy, come in closer to the wall. Try to make sure that your lower back, so your coccyx really, make sure that doesn't roll up off the ground. Try to roll your hips back down to get a better stretch here. Couple more breaths. And we're going to release that foot. I'm going to move away from the wall and turn over onto our tummies for a cobra. So lying on your stomach, first off we'll find the crocodile pose, which is the relaxation pose. So you're going to lie with your head turned to the side, your toes touching and your heels dropping out to the side. I want you to take some nice deep breaths here. Now when you're lying on your back, you feel your chest and your tummy rise up to the ceiling. When you're lying on your tummy, you feel your lower back rising up to the ceiling when you take deeper breaths. So really try and feel your lower back rise up to the ceiling. Nice deep breaths. And then we're going to do a cobra. So we're going to separate our feet, point the toes. You're going to place your hands down on the ground. Now I would go about in line with your chin to start with. Roll your shoulders back and down. Just relax your lower body and then push up on your hands, creating a nice bend in your lower back. So the reason I told you to roll your shoulders back and down was to make sure you don't end up shrugging the shoulders up. So keep the shoulders pulled down. And we're going to release ourselves back down to the ground. Maybe move your hands down a little bit. Roll the shoulders back and down. Make sure the lower body is relaxed. Press up into the hands, getting that nice stretch into the lower back. Keep pulling those shoulders down. And then releasing back down to the ground. Let's do it one more time. So you can bring your hands down a little bit further. Roll the shoulders back and down, making sure the lower body is relaxed. Press up into the hands. Nice bend into the lower back. Keep pulling those shoulder blades down. And then we'll release back down to the ground. And we're going to press ourselves up and come back into a child's pose. We're going to start off with a hero pose. So separate the knees, touch the toes behind you, settle your bottom down onto your heels, and then reach your hands forwards. So really try and stretch out, get your head down to the ground, reach the fingers forwards and stretch your bottom down to your heels. Let's have a couple of breaths here. And then we're going to come up onto our hands, bring your knees together and settle back down to the ground with your arms resting beside you. Now, if this feels a little bit uncomfortable for you, do what I call one potato, two potato, and rest your forehead on your hands. That can feel more comfortable. Or you can have your fists side by side and rest your head there. Of course, if it feels comfortable to have your head on the ground and your arms down by your sides, you can take that position as well. So taking some nice gentle breaths here. And then we're going to roll up from that position. And we're going to come up to a stand and finish off with a few standing poses. So coming up, standing up towards the front of your mat, we're going to start off with an extended triangle. So we're going to step our right foot back to start with. We're going to take quite a big step. Your left toes are facing forwards. Your right foot is quite far back on a bit of an angle. We're going to bring the arms up to shoulder height. You're going to look forward over your left fingers. What I want you to do is keep your legs straight and shift your body weight forwards, and then bring that left hand down to your left leg, reaching your right arm up to the ceiling. Now, don't be tempted to reach too far forwards, because what can happen is you can fold forward from the waist to try and reach down. You'll get more benefit from the pose, from the stretch, if you imagine that you have a plate of glass either side of you and you're having to keep yourself between that plate of glass. So reaching your right hand up, your left arm is down to the leg. Let's just get a couple more breaths here. And then we'll come up, lower the arms, step the feet up to the front, have a little wriggle. We're going to reset to the other side. So this time the left foot is going to go back. Your right foot is pointing forwards. We're going to bring the arms up to shoulder height. Keep the legs straight. Shift your body weight forwards over your right leg, and then bring that right hand down to the right leg. Left arm goes up to the ceiling. Try to keep the hips from falling forward, so you're getting that nice big stretch into your left waist on this side. Couple more breaths here. And we'll come up, we'll lower the arms, step that left foot up to the front, wriggle, reset. Now I'm going to move back slightly. We're going to do a twisted chair. So we're going to bring the feet nice and close together. A chair pose would be sitting straight down with the arms up. We're going to bring the hands together. We're going to reach our right elbow to the outside of our left knee and twist. And we're going to release, come all the way up, release the arms, have a little wriggle, reset. We're going to do the same thing, and this time we'll twist to the right. So going into the chair pose, arms up, then bringing the hands together, twisting the left elbow to the outside of the right knee, twisting up. and we're going to release, come up to stand, release the arms, wriggle, wriggle, reset, and we're going to do a tree pose. So really good for the balance, this one. I'm going to give you the option of standing on your mat or coming off your mat. Some people have quite thick mats, which can make you feel a little bit unbalanced. So if your mat is thick, you might want to stand on the floor. Mine's okay, so I'm going to stay here. What I would suggest you do is find something in front of you that you can focus on. So something at about eye height, something that's not moving. It's going to help you find your balance here. So a few options. I'm going to make it nice and gentle. We're going to stand on our left leg, put your right toes on the ground and rest your right heel on the inside of your left leg. That's your starting position. Bring your hands together in front of your chest and focus on that point in front of you. Try to clear your mind, have no thoughts, no judgment, no mental chatter, just focusing on that point in front of you. Try to lift yourself up nice and tall. So lift your rib cage away from your pelvis, crown of the head lifting up to the ceiling. That's your starting position. You can take your arms up to give you a little bit more challenge. Really try and get the arms up here, so not so much forward, but up with your arms by your ears. If that's starting to feel easier, you can start to play with lifting the foot off the ground. You can always tap it back down again, lift it up, tap it back down, and where you place your foot can depend on what you're wearing. I'm wearing quite slippery tights, so I can get my leg up here. And you really want to try and pull that knee back. What often happens is we come up to the front here. Try to keep the knee nice and open. Keep focusing on that point in front of you. Lengthening out the body, crown of the head lifting up to the ceiling, and just balancing there for as long as you can. If you're doing really well, you can always rewind the video. But we're going to go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. So releasing the arms, release the legs. Let's have a wriggle, wriggle. We're going to reset to the other side. So standing on the right foot, you've got your focus point in front of you. Bring the left toes to the ground, left heel resting on the inside of the right leg. Bring your hands together in front of your chest. Think about lengthening through the body, so nice and tall. Lift the rib cage away from the pelvis, crown of the head lifting up to the ceiling. When you're ready, you can take your arms up over your head. And then if you want to play with the position of your foot, you can always bring the foot up and then take it back down to the ground until you feel more confident to hold it up for a bit longer. Remember to keep focusing on that point in front of you. Try not to have any thoughts in your mind. Try to pull the knee back, so don't let the knee come forwards. And it's quite normal to have one side that feels better than the other. My left side is always better than my right, but I seem to be doing okay today, even though I'm under pressure. So let's get 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. So bring the arms down, foot down, wriggle, wriggle, reset. Now we're just going to do one more pose today, and that is the mountain pose. So again, we're going to have the feet nice and close together. I want you to think about having really good posture here. So stand up nice and tall, crown of the head lifting up to the ceiling again. Roll the shoulders back and down and bring your arms, your hands up to the front. So they're just above eye line, and I'm staring at the base of my palms. I can feel my core muscles working hard in this position. And I'm going to close my eyes over, and I'm going to focus on trying to keep my body as still and steady as a mountain. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Opening the eyes, releasing the arms, little wriggle, wriggle, and we're done. Thank you very much for joining me for this yoga class. I'm going to record a separate video with a bit of a longer relaxation. So if you'd like to do that, you can go to that video now. Thank you.